Hello, everyone, and welcome to Scottish Cup Finals weekend. You're joining myself, Kennedy Mason, and Ali Jack, indoor high-performance coach for Scottish Volleyball, and you are joining us for this Men's Cup Final. It's City of Glasgow Suvergazzi taking on Volleyball Aberdeen Vortex. Ali, how are you feeling before this game gets underway?
Oh, I'm excited for this one, Kennedy. It should be a good game. There's been a few close calls between City of Glasgow and Volleyball Aberdeen already, I think. Volleyball Aberdeen have got a losing record against City of Glasgow over the last few years, but there's been some tight games in there, so maybe we'll get one again today.
First of all, I'd like to welcome
So we'll do a big thank you to our referees before we get underway. Two refs that are monumental in Scottish volleyball. I've been reffed by both of them. Love them both. They always make fair but tough calls. And it'll be Volleyball Aberdeen Vortex to take the court first. Jokubas Kupris out on court. He's joined by Raphael Merchant. And the captain and number 13, Andrew Stronach, outside for Volleyball Aberdeen.
Andy Stronach been around for absolutely years in Scottish volleyball. Still doing a good job.
They're joined by Craig Goldthorpe, number 4, and of course now number 9 as well, Pavel Kaniowski on court. Grant Christie joining them, and finally the libero in red, Mike Banda. And a big shout out to head coach as well. A quick applause for him, and we'll now get City of Glasgow onto the court. Matthew Allen on first.
Second game of the weekend for Matthew Allen.
He'll be joined by Daniel Okumbawa. The captain, Eddie Gurecki, on court now with them as well. Aaron Hewitson, a middle blocker, going to be joining them.
Aaron Hewitson's been a big impact this year in the place of Dan Martin.
And they're joined by Harry Orr, number 7, and number 19, Andrew Turek. And of course, Stuart McKenzie, the libero for City of Glasgow in the white strip. A shout out to head coach James Orr as well. So, Ali, both these teams taking the court. Do you think that there's a fan favorite right now, just based on the applause from the beginning?
City of Glasgow always bring a fair contingent with them. Aberdeen got a bit further to go, Kennedy, but I think the first talking point in the match is that Harry Orr starting in place of Jordan Smith. Jordan's been carrying a wee bit of an injury lately, but I think the presumption was that he's going to be fit. Harry was playing last night for the Scotland under-23s against the Scottish Student Select. Did a good job, but still a bit of a surprise that Jordan's on the bench for this one.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen that game from yesterday, an incredible 5-setter. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, but Harry Orr really showed up. So very deserving of his place today, but it'll be interesting to see if we get some substitutions based on injuries or anything like that. Definitely something to watch out for on the City of Glasgow side.
Yeah, I think Daniel Okumbawa for in the starting 6 for City of Glasgow as well. Daniel's not perhaps played as much as he wanted this season, thanks to George, who's been playing very well in the opposite role. But no doubt that Daniel is a huge talent.
So Volleyball Aberdeen in the black, serving City of Glasgow in red, and an ace to start things off.
Is that going to be a sign of things to come for Aberdeen this weekend? So Kupris again. Clear to left side, a big swing right off the bat. And that'll be more the start that City of Glasgow wanted. I don't think there was any surprise that City of Glasgow went straight out to Eddie Gurecki in zone 4 there. That was always favourite for that one, particularly against Raphael, one of the smaller setters on court.
Two ball over, an opportunity.
Big chance here for Aberdeen.
And that's unfortunate. The unforced error from Kaniowski. Just that ball into the net. It's tough when that sets out to your right shoulder when you're right-handed to try and cut it back across the net with any sort of height on it.
Yeah, I think the pass coming in from zone 1 made that tough as well.
Good pick up from the middle attack.
Getting the middle involved early there, always a good start.
And we've been talking about this throughout the weekend, Ali, and I don't know your thoughts on this as a coach as well, but personally, we love when the middles are brought in. We just think it runs a really fast offense. What do you think?
There's some really good middle hitting throughout the weekend. Some big hits last night in that game that was spoken about already. And it looks like the setters are keen to get the middle involved in this one too. I think that's going to be key for Aberdeen to make sure they can try and split that block on the outside and give their outside and their opposite a chance to score. They are going to have to limit their errors, though.
Yeah, very much, especially with the serve from Gurecki. But a gift is that's just short into the netting.
Andy Stronan coming back to serve, all those years of experience.
Oh, beautiful set out to the right side. I like that he was trying to open up the offense.
Just drifted a wee bit back row there.
Yeah. Oh, no touches on the way through.
No doubt that City of Glasgow are going to favour their outside hitters. Andre and Eddie are in great form this season, both thumping the ball in the warm-up. So Aberdeen are going to have to work hard on the right side block. Oh, nice hang time, Pavel. Up a bit early, but a good touch. Going at 4 here. Oh!
Those are tough ones when you're in that 6th position. When it hits the block and rolls over your head, you hate to see it.
Still a tight start, 4-all. Competitive game so far.
Oh, that's a block.
Tough start for Pavel so far. That's 2 errors and a block. He's going to have to find some rhythm pretty quickly in the game.
Very much, and that was just a really well-timed block from City of Glasgow. They should be keen to do more of those against this Aberdeen side. And fair play to Harry Orr. He's absolutely loving it on court, but what a huge block and a big point going into a timeout.
Yeah, I mean, Harry's played a couple of positions this season, and there's no doubt that when it comes to blocking, his time as a middle blocker serves him very well. Looks like he's got off to a solid start this set as well.
Yeah, extremely. It's still a tight set. It's only 6-4 for City of Glasgow right now, but head coach Ken Fraser, he's just not wanting them to get momentum and run away with it. What do you think he's telling his players in this timeout?
I think perhaps, Kennedy, it's just going to be a wee bit of a reset at the moment. Try and wipe away the last 2 or 3 points where we've seen a number of errors and big blocks. Maybe a wee bit of thought on where the hitter should be aiming tactically. See if they can try and get away to a nice couple of scores.
See, this is great. I love having a coach on co-coms because you know exactly what coaches are going to say.
All coaches are different, Kennedy. Oh, good set. Lovely play. Raphael doing well there. That was a lovely wee pop out his hands out to zone 4. Nice speed and peak on the set. Well put away by Grant Christie as well.
Yeah, that's a really strong point for Aberdeen out of the timeout. Just 5 serving 6, so 1 point back.
Definitely no doubt where the Aberdeen service target is so far. Eddie Gurecki passing everything. I think at the moment that Surugazzi block is just standing waiting on the Aberdeen hitters far too often. Sets just that fraction slow, giving them a chance to move their feet and get in place. And it's a fairly big team.
Yeah, and you were mentioning before Matt Allen, he's played earlier this weekend in that big game. He's a great blocker. He's a big force up at the net. He's hard to work around.
Yeah, I think the key of getting past him is going to be trying to get him moving a bit more. If he's standing underneath the ball, he's a tall guy, and he's going to put up a strong block. But I think every blocker, once they're moving sideways, they're just a target. Nice pass, Grant.
Ooh!
Never,
I like a good one-handed set.
Yeah, never easy finding a left-handed middle either. I think a lot of practice. But it's a lovely angle towards zone 5 and something they're going to have to take advantage of. Aberdeen still going with the same service target, I think. Look tight from here.
Very much keeping things on Captain Eddie Gurecki when he's in that passing unit. And what do you think? Are they just trying to break him a little bit?
I think so, and I think if Aberdeen can try and dictate that the ball goes to zone 4 a lot, it's less movement for the blockers. But with City of Glasgow having two strong outside hitters, Aberdeen have to put up a strong block, and at the moment they've not managed to do that enough.
Oh, good touch.
Oh, it's a very good touch. Setters out there. Well covered by Grant Christie. We need a swing though. Yeah, I think this might get put away.
I think that's a safe read of the game.
Yeah.
And that's a really nice set out to Daniel Okumbawa through that right side. And you're absolutely right. When you just see that happening, you get the sense that's got to be put away.
Aberdeen have got to really watch here. If Daniel gets in a bit of rhythm and they're City of Glasgow killing the ball at both antennae, it's going to be a tough game. Straight away, a bit of speed in that set out to Grant, and it's 1-on-1, but the blocks move in and they get a point. Much better.
Yeah, that's exactly what you were saying before, Ali. When you open up that offense and get that moving blocker, they become a target. Grant Christie saw it early, and I think that was a really good use of hands.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Daniel's up high against him. Really clever hit. Really clever. But Aberdeen needing to get a couple of points on the board at the moment.
Oh. There's one for you, Ali.
Yeah, enjoyed that. Grant Christie at the service line. Grant can have a really tough to pass hybrid serve that he quite often puts towards zone 1. But it looks like he's having to lay off and go for a float to try and pin it into Gurecki and deep in zone 5. It's a tough one.
Yeah, they're really trying to push Eddie Gurecki outside of his body and make that pass hard for him, trying to take him out of the attack.
Yeah, I think they've got to be careful, because if Eddie can just put in a positive pass and take the ball back, and if Aberdeen can't do anything about that, he's going to score a lot of points today. Matthew Allen at the service line now. I believe he models the serve on Michael Jordan, judging by what he does with his legs during that service action. Good strong serve last time round though.
Just short.
This time, yeah. Matthew perhaps getting a wee bit advantage from a warm-up match last time in terms of getting used to the area around the court.
Yeah, we often find when the gym's set up like this with the Terraflex, well, it's a lovely venue here at the Pleasance Gym at the University of Edinburgh. It does change the flight of the ball. The gym feels different. It's just kind of hard to get your bearings about you. So having that warm-up game might have been really beneficial for him.
Absolutely. Perhaps doesn't quite feel that City of Glasgow have worked their way to a 4-point lead at the moment, but it's certainly there. Good pass by Grant Christie.
So that's a second timeout call for Volleyball Aberdeen. The score right now, 14-9 for City of Glasgow. Is this a little bit of a risky timeout call just because it's so early in the game? Or I know you like your early timeout calls. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, absolutely, Kennedy. I think at the moment, Ken Fraser's got to try and do something to pull this game back together. I think if it goes any further, the timeouts further down the line are going to be a little bit too late. He's needing some response to the players here.
Yeah, and like you say, it doesn't feel like Glasgow have gotten up and ahead like this, but they are ahead by 5 points. That is a bit of a deficit to work past, and we are getting into the closing stages of set one, so something's going to have to happen soon for Volleyball Aberdeen.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Jazor has got Jordan Smith warming up to come on. Trying to look to see if that might be a double sub, perhaps. Good hit from
great pickup. That's a quality swing from Gorecki through the left side, but what a great bit of defense as well from Glasgow. Some strong hits coming from that left side and from the hand of Stronach.
Yeah, I think the frustrating thing for Aberdeen there is that they had a bite of the cherry to take the point and put themselves in control, and just a lack of control in the first touch put them a wee bit more out of system than they'd want. Yeah, the set looks to be slipping away for Aberdeen. They're going to need a response soon.
Yeah, as it stands, 16-9 to the City of Glasgow. Make it 10 as that one's out the back, but that's still a big deficit to work back from.
Jordan Smith entering the game for Harry Orr. Jordan's been an excellent addition to the City of Glasgow squad here. Really stable setter out to zone 4, even on 8 or 9 metre sets. And there we go.
So there goes our net camera, but what a quality swing.
Here comes George. Yeah.
Oh, an ace!
Yeah.
You know what? That's not the most power I've seen Gorecki put into a serve, but he really found that channel just between Christie and Bandit. I think that's a good spot for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in this rotation, Aberdeen are going to have to get organised to release their front court hitter and try and get a bit of speed in that attack. And it looks like City of Glasgow are trying to pound Grant a wee bit deeper here.
We'll get Furtado coming in for Volleyball Aberdeen as well. Ken Fraser just changing things up in the passing unit a little bit.
Good touch on the block there by Aaron Hewson, but not quite in control. Good point for Aberdeen. We've got to get some service from Aberdeen here to try and make sure they hold the front court that they've got at the moment, having a bigger block in zone 2.
Oh, that's a great pickup.
Lovely touch.
Oh, outside the antenna. That's unfortunate.
I'm not quite sure who called that one, but Dave Cormier, the first referee, seems to be staunch with his decision.
Yeah, he's going to call Captain Gorecki over to have a chat about it. It's hard to see from the angle that we're at, Ali. What did you think about that pickup, though? That was really, really great stuff from Merchant.
Yeah, it was a lovely touch from Raphael there. And it looked solid inside the antennae, but obviously tough to see from this position. But it certainly puts City of Glasgow in a strong, strong position here, and deservedly so, 19-11.
And we just have some more unforced errors creeping into the gameplay of Volleyball Aberdeen.
Yeah. Aberdeen just struggling to find rhythm when they've got a set running about the court like that. They're going to have to start putting a slightly more consistent pass to run an offense. Not what they were after. 2 touches called against the setter.
Yeah, I think that's a fair call from up on the ref stand. Just trying to push it out and find that outlet player on the left side. But yeah, that's an unfortunate one for Aberdeen.
Nice play. Good score there by Craig Goldthorpe. And reverse substitution coming back on here for Pavel. Matej back to the bench. Eddie Grecki broken open for the first time.
That was a really good recovery from that point, though. As you say, that was kind of a wicked serve. From back here, I could see the float on it. That was a hard pass to make, but what a set as well to find Okumbawa, and of course, he puts it away.
Yeah. Jordan Smith, just a very consistent player this season. Made such a difference to that Glasgow squad. Really gives them a stable offense all the time. Lovely serve too. Much better serve from Raphael there, and a lovely kill by Pavel.
Yeah, Kaniowski was just able to let that cross his body, and he had line to work with. Not a ton of space, so a very accurate shot, but a beautiful shot down the line.
Yep. Wide open thanks to a cracking set.
Oh, and you hate to see the miss serve after such a swing, but I don't know what happens to me. I get really excited. It's either out the back or I take too much off it. There's no in between.
Yeah, there's been a few games in here over the years that have been renowned for the number of service errors, that's for sure. Beautiful hole to play in, but there we go again. I think what Aberdeen need to do is to finish off this set. City Glasgow are going to see it through, but Aberdeen to finish a bit stronger and give themselves a little bit of momentum to start the next set positively.
Yeah, and that is something that I love about volleyball is no matter what happens in the set before, you start at 0-0. I mean, that's a great swing coming from Matt Allen, but Aberdeen are just going to have to move past it. They got to forget about it. They got to move on to the next point.
Yeah, Jordan just seems to give them such an excellent timing for the middle blockers and the outside hitters there. It just makes Matthew's job a little bit easier, and he's got a bit of court to aim for. Strong serve.
Oh! Furtado saw his opportunity. He's going to take it. That's going to keep Aberdeen alive, but it is 15 serving 24.
Yeah, but those kind of hits are the one that's maybe only worth 1 point, but that's maybe something that Aberdeen can start taking into the next set.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, Aberdeen really pushing that timing with the libero switch.
Oh, good block.
Oh, the pancake to keep it up, and it's down. Oh, I appreciate the effort.
Yeah, it looked like Andre could have taken another couple of steps there, but
yeah.
Ryan Christie getting a reminder about timing from Dave Cormier there.
Yeah, fair enough. That was pushing it by anyone's standards. Oh, that's a very floaty serve.
Oh, good touch by Craig. Nice hit on. Oh, serve's gone here. What's Silky Glasgow going to do? Oh. Oh.
All right, Mikhail. Fair play to the high volleyball IQ on that one.
Absolutely. Took advantage of that gap in the middle of the court.
So that one going to end 25-15. City of Glasgow taking the win on that. And Volleyball Aberdeen just never really seemed to get in the groove that they needed to put a few string of points together.
No, and I think on the other side of that, City of Glasgow made a few substitutions in that set and just kept the momentum going flawlessly. It was a really solid performance. Lots of players scoring, and there's a bit of work to do for Volleyball Aberdeen here. to come back into the next set and start competing from the off.
Yeah, this next set, again, starts at 0-0. Volleyball Aberdeen have a clean slate to work with, but what we just saw is Glasgow taking a few points here and there and, you know, stringing those 2 and 3 point runs together pretty much every point they had. And I mean, a 25-16 set, not super close for Aberdeen, so they're going to have to be very conscious starting out this set that they're sticking with this Glasgow side.
Yeah, I think in that first set, Aberdeen just gave away too many chances to City of Glasgow. Aberdeen had a few opportunities to try and put the ball away in transition and then ended up not taking them, and it just City of Glasgow just started to extend the lead. Combined with a few extra errors on the Aberdeen side, that just put the set comfortably in the City of Glasgow's hands.
Yeah, absolutely. You even said it, Ali, while they were playing, they had opportunities to put it away, and they just didn't commit to the swing, or we had a lot of unforced errors into the net, out the side. If they can cut down on those unforced errors, this is suddenly a game between these two teams.
Yeah, and I think one of the key things was Aberdeen's play on the right-hand side. They had a few opportunities. They set the right-hand side. They had one good kill. And they had a few errors and a few blocks against them there. And it just looked like there was a little bit of disconnect between what the setter was expecting and what the right side hitters were expecting. And they're going to have to iron that out into the second set if they're wanting to split the middle blocker on the opposite side of the net and make it a bit tougher.
Yeah, I think your analysis of that was spot on, and they really have to start opening up that offense to make the block work for City of Glasgow.
It's perhaps a wee bit of work to do in Aberdeen in terms of motivation here. If you look at the two teams, the way they're lined up,
yeah,
City of Glasgow are desperate to get this game going. They're keen, they're enthusiastic, and they look like they've not got a care in the world at the moment. Aberdeen are going to have to give them a wee bit of trouble and something to think about in this second set. Big smile from Matthew Allen at the back here. Look at that.
I do always wonder if they can hear us.
And I believe the NBA are watching this serve. Ready for the next layup.
So here we go, Matthew Allen to get set 2 underway.
Strong. Oh. Looked a strong pass, but just a wee bit tight. Just a little bit tight. Small margins at the moment are just putting Aberdeen in a really difficult position. They need to gather some momentum because City Glasgow are going to push on very quickly with the form that they're in.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And another one, I mean, that first pass, a little bit tight. This one, very much into the airspace of City of Glasgow. And, Ali, they're going to put that away every time.
Yeah, and I think the concern here for Aberdeen continued to receive here is after 2 overpasses, then the next one may well be a little bit further up the net. And Aberdeen are going to struggle to run the middle with the Surrogatsky block firing on all cylinders so far. Thankfully for Aberdeen, Matthew Allen obliges with a service error. Slight change for City of Glasgow in this set, though, with George Mikael in for Daniel Ockenbauer.
Oh, and the call is a net touch against City of Glasgow, but I thought that was a lovely set out to the right side, if not a little bit touch on the close on the tape, rather.
Yeah, just looked a little bit tight for George there to do anything with, but in fairness, Jordan was very tight himself, and lovely set of hands to push that behind. Strong start in the service line from Aberdeen. We need to continue to push on a wee bit here to put a wee bit of doubt in that City of Glasgow passing unit.
It's a well-passed serve and right out on the attack, and that's incredible. Eddie Gorecki puts it away.
The speed that pops out of Jordan's hands there just makes it so difficult for the Aberdeen middle blocker. And Aberdeen service is going to have to make sure they try and limit that middle blocker as much as possible to get a block in front of the outside hitter. Nice hit. Another chance. Oh, lovely hit by Grant Christie.
Yeah, that was a really good swing to just kind of change that momentum of the ball as well. The set coming from the libero in backcourt, and it was a high loopy one. We talk about that fast offense. That was not it, so he had to do something special with that one to make it count.
I think staying in system is a priority for Aberdeen, but they're always going to have to earn a few points in transition and make sure they try and take a set. Oh, lovely recycle by Jordan Smith. Super block, though. So unusual just to see a setter with such confidence there, tight in the net, recycles the ball off the block and goes again. That's the type of stuff we're used to seeing from outside hitters. That's an experienced setter, that's for sure.
Yeah, really quality stuff for sure. Oh, that was beautiful. Picked up still, but the net touch called on Volleyball Aberdeen.
And I think what we've started to see from City of Glasgow throughout the course of the season since Jordan's come into the team is that when the middle blocker comes in, they're always approaching towards zone 5, trying to hold the opposition's middle blocker as long as they can. And when the ball goes out quickly to zone 4, it's so tough to deal with one-on-one when they've got hitters that with the quality of Eddie and Andre. Another cracking swing, really clever stuff there from Grant Christie. And again, that's what Aberdeen are going to have to put in. They're going to have to score against a two-man block and start using the block to their advantage. Every point's worth the same.
Yeah, exactly. And Volleyball Aberdeen, after a bit of a rougher start in set 2, they are up 6-4 just now. Wow. That was a quality response from City of Glasgow.
Yeah, absolutely. Aaron Hewitson at the service line. He's a good impact this season. First season, I think, in the Premier League. Really established himself. No secret where that ball's getting set.
Oh, good pickup in the middle. Don't know about that one, Ellie. Might have been a little bit wide.
Yeah, Andre just arriving a wee bit too late there. His timing's a wee bit unusual, where his jump time and goes up and has a really, really early arm swing once he gets up there. It's very difficult to time against him, but it was him that mistimed that there and put it out the side.
Good pass off the back of it. Oh, I love that play. Yeah. That's sensational from City of Glasgow. That just brought the block with that quick middle attack, opened things up right for the pipe.
Yeah, the time and length there, not perfect between Jordan and Eddie there, but very well used for all Eddie's years of experience. You would not guess that man is nearer 40 than 30.
Well, second time of asking, but Matthew Allen gets a stuff block.
Yeah, just a little bit too much work to do for Aberdeen. Ended up 2 attacks in a row out of the system there, going to zone 4. Not much work for Matthew to do, but a tremendous block finish to put the ball on the floor. Jordan Smith having a field day out there.
Free ball opportunity for City of Glasgow.
Oh, nice dig.
Oh, miscommunication on defense. So the timeout call from Volleyball Aberdeen after being up by 2 points. It's now City of Glasgow with the advantage. They're up 9-7.
Yeah, quite a big turnaround from 6-4. So, yeah. Ken Fraser perhaps leaving it slightly late there to call the timeout to regain a wee bit of control. But from sitting directly behind Jordan Smith's serve there, that ball's moving quite a lot in the centre of the court there.
Yeah, no doubt. A very tough one to pass. And City of Glasgow are doing a really good job keeping the pressure on in the serve. And like you say, they're just not really letting Aberdeen open things up on the attack. They're making defending much easier for themselves with all that pressure they're putting through the serve.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, though, Kennedy, a little nod towards the City of Glasgow coaching staff there, with more caps amongst the coaching staff than the players on the court. Two very experienced Scottish internationals.
Oh. That is a big swing from Turek, and even with the touch off the block, that travels the whole 9 meters out the court on the other side.
Yeah, Raphael doing a good job of reading Andre's hitting line there. Just couldn't quite finish it in court.
Out to right side for the attack, and there we go. It's put away. And that's a nice attack coming from Mikhail through that right side. Really great to open up the offense. That was a nice rally from both teams.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Kennedy, all I'm looking at here is Jordan Smith absolutely running the game. The Aberdeen are having to guess exactly what's going on to try and move early, and they just can't match it at the moment.
It's a good use of hands for Volleyball Aberdeen. They're going to have to implement a little bit more of that because the block of City of Glasgow right now is pretty outstanding.
Yeah, and as you said, you know, the way the game's going and their service reception's going, they are going to have to score a lot of points like that to get back into this set.
Well, with that serve into the netting, at City of Glasgow up by 4 points now, 12 serving 8. It'll be Turek with the serve on the baseline.
I think the last thing Aberdeen want to see here is 4 points down at the start of the set and Eddie Gorecki rolling right to front row.
Oh. And I mean, Matthew Allen in the middle doesn't really help their cause at all. That is a big block.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly racking up the number of blocks there. The interesting thing was there was a split block there, but the outside hitter managed to cut it in towards Matthew instead of going down the seam.
That might be a bad omen for Volleyball Aberdeen after somewhat sticking with the City of Glasgow team. We're starting to see a few more unforced errors.
Well, I think that might literally be Matthew Allen's best ever block. Matthew will speak about you in a nice way just now, because we've no doubt that you'll be clipping these highlights later on, that's for sure.
Yeah, he can absolutely put that one on a highlight reel. That was outstanding through the middle from Matthew Allen.
Oh, lovely solid pass from Grant Christie. Touch that I certainly didn't see from here, Kennedy. What about you?
I didn't see that either. I was pretty confident that was out the back. Might have blinked and missed it, but
again, we find ourselves with Aberdeen 6 points behind here in the middle of this set. They're going to have to do something quickly to bring this back round. They need a run of serves here. But looking at the rotation, that's their opposite roll round the front row. Perfect opportunity to do it.
Yeah. City of Glasgow just going to try and keep chipping away at it and increasing their lead. But if Volleyball Aberdeen can put a good string together here, and that's a quality serve, they might have a chance.
Oh,
that is too spectacular. That's a beautiful set out to right side for Mikhail to just put it away.
Again, Jordan Smith just gives every hitter in his team such confidence that the ball's just going to appear there. They're so relaxed, linked in with their timing. And when they go up 1v1 in a perfect ball, they're just able to put it away.
Missed opportunity for that attack. I think maybe just a touch closer to the tape for that set would have been good, but Volleyball Aberdeen kind of read that early. I think they knew exactly where that set was going.
Yeah, it certainly shows that. I mean, Craig Goldthorpe's having a good game there. Nice solid blocker in the middle.
Yeah.
Scored a couple in each set, I think, and making a bit of a difference, but they just need to be able to have him in the game more.
Yeah, definitely. That was a really good push out wide to Gorecki, and again, he's just going to use the hands of that block. Not going to dent the floor, but just going for those smart plays, that smart accuracy to the right hand of the block.
I think this maybe represents another opportunity for Aberdeen here as well. With George Mikael back row, less hitting options front row for Jordan Smith. Perhaps Aberdeen can get a tough serve and a good block in front of them.
Well taken with the hands. It's out to Gorecki. Oh, very clever from Gorecki.
Yep. And again, that was maybe a chance when Eddie Gorecki's one-on-one has to go to a tip. Maybe something that Aberdeen need to look to convert to try and claw back that lead.
A substitution for volleyball Aberdeen. And we'll get Santana on court.
Ooh, big serve from Eddie Gorecki.
A big serve, yeah. Caught a little bit of a float, caught a draft and out the back, but my goodness, if that's in court, that is lethal. And a huge swing from Turek, not the tallest player on court, but like you say, he has a really big vertical and he has that really different timing that's quite fun to watch actually, but it makes him really hard to block.
Yeah, and I think he just gets up there early and gives himself so much time to pick a shot sometimes, and the arm comes through quickly. It's tough to defend, and he's hitting well.
Oh, just out. That is so close from Gorecki, but I like that he got his thumb down and tried to turn that to 5.
Yeah. A wee bit of a grimace there from Eddie Gorecki, and perhaps a couple of words of encouragement in Polish. That was that Grant Christie serve I was speaking about earlier on. It's tough. It's also a little bit tough to control as well when he's aiming right into that corner on the hybrid.
Yeah, very much. And with that serve out the back, it's going to be City of Glasgow up 20-13 over Volleyball Aberdeen in set 2.
Serve substitution. McKelly coming on to serve for Jordan Smith. No doubt McKelly has certainly got a quality set in his hands as well.
Oh, a great block coming from McKenna.
Very well timed block. And again, that block was in the right place. He was not scared to make sure he went and stepped inside and left the gap down the line to take the cross score really well. Straight up and down, a strong block.
Ooh, good touch. That was a very well-placed swing just between the block.
Certainly was Kennedy, but it looked like Andre was just sliding out to the left when he took off there. It looked like it went right to where he took off from and left a gap that Stuart McKenzie couldn't cover.
Yeah, McKenzie, the libero, trying to get a hand on it. He does, but that's fired away. That was hit with some force behind it. Oh, and that's the exact opposite. Just a placement shot from Matthew Allen, but a good one at that.
Yeah, certainly no doubt that Matthew Allen's contributing really well in terms of points this set. Jack Anderson out in the fray for Eddie Gorecki. Quite surprised with this substitution. I thought that Jack might have stepped in for Andre here to shore up the back row. But Jazzor obviously confident that Jack can score, get his way through the rest of the set here.
Oh, now the call from the linesman is that it's out, but that block from Mikhail was just out of this world.
Yeah, he's just straight and strong. It's a well-timed block. And the outside hitters are going to have to do something different. Now, they've got away with that one because that was so fast, I don't think anybody could see where it landed. But Aberdeen have reverted back to a really high set to zone 4, and City of Glasgow are just putting 2 strong blockers up against them all day.
So 23 serving 15. And it's Matthew Allen in the backcourt with this serve. He's done well at the beginning of the set with this, and it's doing well at the end as well.
Strong serve, yeah.
And there we go. There's another block from Mikhail, and he's being a little cheeky with the linesman, ensuring that one's in the court.
Yep. Hopefully the linesman's got a sense of humor. A right smile from Ken Fraser as well.
24-15, possible set point for Glasgow, rather. And that will do it. The overpass to the kill. I think Matthew Allen, not even sure that was on 24, but there you go, 25-15 for set 2.
I think Matthew Allen's dedicating those 2 serves to Mark Castro in the crowd by the looks of it.
So if you're just joining us, City of Glasgow taking the first 2 sets, 25-16 and 25-15. Volleyball Aberdeen did a better job at the beginning of this set, sticking with them, but Ali, they just let it slip away again.
Yeah, it was a strong start, and again, at the start of that set, Aberdeen had a 1 or 2 point lead a couple of times and just gave it away that little bit too easy. The first pass is going to be absolutely crucial for them. They've not managed to put in a solid service reception unit, and they're going to have to try and run a bit more of an unpredictable offense in the third set.
Yeah, they've been really trying to keep that serve on Eddie Gurecki, the captain, but he's been doing a really good job, I think, of keeping his head about him. He's been having some great passes, and he focuses on one thing, he gets the pass up right to the center, and then his feet are out, and he's ready for the swing. I think he's been doing a great job, even with all that pressure.
Yeah, and I think part of the credit for that goes down to solid passing from Eddie, nice positive high passes, and then Jordan Smith's been in great form, just spraying the ball around, giving everybody a chance to score. He's really created opportunities in every position.
Yeah, some very good setting. I like that we got to see Harry Orr at the beginning. He did a great job as well, but Jordan Smith has been setting for the second half of set 1 and set 2 as well, and he's just been running a really nice, fast offense. And like you say, the ball comes out of his hands so fast but so accurate, it is almost impossible to set up a solid block in front of that.
Yeah, and I think it's quite difficult to read as well, Kennedy. He's very neutral when he touches the ball, so his hands and his body aren't really giving away anything until the ball's released. And it's got a really nice quick pop when it comes out of his hands.
Yeah, he's been setting up Mikhail quite well as well through that right side. Even when that ball is kind of drifting over into that 4 position, he can get underneath it enough. He gets his hips under, and he can just fire it out to that right hand, the right-hand side of court, rather, and he just puts it right on the tape for Mikhail.
Yeah, absolutely. If just say Glasgow have just had a field day in every position so far. I think that Volleyball Aberdeen are maybe going to have to come up with a slightly different service target in the third set here. They've gone with the same target for the first 2 sets, and at the moment it's going to have to be all or nothing for them.
Yeah, very much. And you were talking about body language between set 1 and set 2. And we can take a look at it again. These Glasgow guys are raring to go on court. Like, they are just right beside it, wanting to go on. Volleyball Aberdeen looking a bit more subdued just now.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're going to have to start encouraging a wee bit each other on the court a wee bit, just to make sure they can try and get off to a positive start and maintain it a little bit longer than in set 2. Slightly different lineup from City of Glasgow here, just in terms of who they're putting around to serve first. But keeping Eddie Gurecki front row for the first part of the set, normally a priority for them.
Volleyball Aberdeen with the serve.
Strong
to
serve.
Start off set 3.
Oh!
That's a decent block as well.
Yeah, it certainly was.
He timed that excellently. He really got out there, and he got his hands up over and then redirected it back down. That was really great.
Yeah, but I think the biggest question is how's the middle blocker on his own on the right-hand side?
I was thinking it too, wasn't going to say it, but
It's a good start from serving.
oh, great pickup behind the block on that tip from Gurecki. Through the middle this time, and that's a great swing from Hewitson.
But again, the timing and the choices from Jordan Smith is just sensational. Really, really good stuff. Not giving the Aberdeen defence any time at all to set up.
Oh, and the touch is there, but it won't come back. So lots of service pressure still coming from the baseline. Mikhail going to try and rip another spinner.
Perhaps a slightly similar story to the other sets. So Aberdeen has a couple of chances there with two strong serves from Raphael. He just didn't manage to see it through. They're going to have to make sure that they're scoring on their own serves to try and get this set. Oh, excellent block.
Yeah, Cooper's already 3 points for his team, and 2 of them are directly from his blocks.
Yeah, I would say that's the first time that Jordan Smith has been readable in terms of the choices that he was making. And the Aberdeen middle blocker clearly read that one as well. Nice pass in by Andy Stronach. Oh.
Oh! And that was just a good watch at the net. Glasgow making sure that they're controlling that airspace when it's in a joust situation.
But again, Aberdeen having 2 chances on offense there and coming out the losers of the point is maybe a wee sign of how the game's gone for them so far. A bit of pressure from Aberdeen. You never know if we get back round to the service line and Eddie Grecky's next serve and he's going in the float, but no, it's going to be a tight game.
Yeah, definitely 4 serving 3, and the serve coming from Coopers in the backcourt.
Oh, poor pass by Eddie Grecky. And it's the first time I think we've really seen City of Glasgow look like they're properly out of the system there. Mm-hmm. And Jordan Smith not running an offense and throwing a ball high and seeing what happens. And the errors start to creep in. This is the kind of thing that Aberdeen are going to have to do consistently this set. It's a high serve though.
Yeah, not a ton of pressure on that serve, and I mean Glasgow are going to exploit that.
Yeah, but Aaron Hewson did well there, I think, Kennedy. He went up looking towards zone 5 and then cut towards zone 1 past the middle blocker, and there was no defender there to keep the ball off the floor. 2 service errors in a row from City of Glasgow. Sees the 2-point lead for Aberdeen, though. That's the kind of thing they're needing to take advantage of. Aberdeen needing to secure a hit here. Nice hit from Grant Christie.
Oh, the net touch from Aberdeen as well. That's unfortunate, but you're right. What a swing from Grant Christie through the left side.
Yeah, and I think more importantly, the setter's just been poked in the eye from the middle blocker.
Well out of system.
Yep. Oh, dear. Oh my goodness.
You don't see those often, Ali.
Especially not from somebody as good and as solid and as experienced as Eddie Gurecki. That's one for the opposition scrapbook, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's almost just too much time to think about where you're going to put that free ball.
Yeah, but I think you can start to see the City of Glasgow passing unit just look a little bit under pressure.
Yeah, and even this, I mean, great defense from Aberdeen. They're back on the attack right away.
And then suddenly a wee bit of confidence in their offense and a second free ball.
Here you go, an opportunity for Glasgow. Oh, an unforced error into the netting. So Aberdeen are up 8-5. Similar look to set 2, and that one, Glasgow able to claw their way back into the set, but this time Glasgow taking an early timeout as they are down by a deficit of 3 at the moment.
No doubt some positives there, Kennedy, for Volleyball Aberdeen. I think the worrying thing from their point of view is that in the last 2 or 3 rallies, they've had 2 or 3 bites of the cherry to score a point, and it's ended up that City of Glasgow have had the same and ended up making the error. Aberdeen can't rely on that for the full set. If they get 2 or 3 chances to score, they're going to have to put the ball away a wee bit quicker, or City of Glasgow might just turn that 3-point advantage or 3-point deficit around fairly quickly.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and that's some of what they were doing the first 2 points as well. Aberdeen having their chances and not capitalizing. They put themselves in a good position, and now they need to exploit it. They need to take a hold of this lead, and they need to maintain it if they want this game to be more than 3 sets.
I think the positive for Aberdeen was that the service pressure is definitely increasing, and so is the consistency. So they've got a chance in here.
Yeah, definitely. That's a nice float from Christie right onto the middle, Matthew Allen.
Yeah. I think any time you make a middle blocker pass the ball, you've done a good serve.
Yeah, exactly.
Although not a bad pass by Matthew Allen standards. Not renowned for his passing expertise. Certainly had a good blocking game though.
Oh, another one. And this is trouble for City of Glasgow. And like you say, that pass is just not on. Jordan Smith really doesn't have anywhere to go with his sets.
No, and I think over the first 2 sets, at risk of sounding like I'm trying to set up a Jordan Smith fan club here, you were really seeing him under pressure the last few points, and his sets just become a little bit more predictable. And then, lovely score.
Yeah, I love that. You know what? The pass is on. He finds his middle. He knows that Matthew Allen's going to put that away.
But then I think Aberdeen can see the way forward here. They've now got a bit of confidence that if City of Glasgow can be pushed out of system, then they've got a chance to push through and win this set.
Yeah,
I think
still
that's
a
the
4-point
first thing
lead.
that's appeared. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. You can see Andy Stronach beginning to rile his troops here.
Oh, that's a tough one. You can just see the setter Merchant is trying to put that over on 2, trying to be sneaky about it. Gurecki read it like a book, and he was there for the block.
Yeah, although I think Raphael needs a wee bit of help from his opposite there in order to cover, because he's no other options.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no hit here.
Here's an opportunity for Aberdeen to stay well ahead.
A little bit of luck in Aberdeen's half there.
Yeah, I think Matthew Allen saying he just kind of held the tape there, didn't really touch the ball.
Yeah, I think the smile afterwards says that might be a wee bit of a fib. But Aberdeen just pushing that free ball too tight towards zone 4 with limited options for the setter.
That one, not the flashiest attack, but it'll work. He found space, and I think that was a really good run, and Jordan Smith found him quite well.
Yeah, and I think a lovely offense there as well with Jordan Smith just popping the ball beyond the middle blocker.
Oh, that's a great bit of defense, and it comes back over. Whew. Out to right side. We love to see it, and what a block from Stronach as well.
Yeah, and we love the song that follows after as well, don't we, Kennedy?
That was incredible, and a huge bit of momentum for Aberdeen as well. This is just going to add to their confidence.
Another good serve from Raphael. Got to say, though, I mean, a winning hit from the City of Glasgow there, but the Aberdeen block made a good adjustment and really took away a lot of space, and it just turned out to be a good hit from City of Glasgow. If Aberdeen can keep the block, get in the right position like that, they've got a chance.
Here we go, an opportunity for Glasgow. Oh, covered. but they get another one. That's a great swing through the middle.
Yeah. And we keep coming back to that same thing, Kennedy. If you're going to give the opposition 3 or 4 swings in a rally, you're at risk of losing the point. And I think the same thing keeps happening to Aberdeen. However, the good news for them is that they've still got that 2-point lead. They can wipe it off and move on.
Yeah, they're in a little bit of a more precarious position, Aberdeen. They were up by 4 earlier on. It was 12-8, but 2 quick points from City of Glasgow. And they're getting a little bit of confidence now, too, which is a dangerous spot to be. Ooh, thrown back. Aaron Hewitson floated on that block and just pushed it right back down.
Absolutely. Hang time from Hewitson. Nice strong serve from Andy Stronach.
Great line shot, but great coverage as well. Oh, and a missed opportunity. The free ball is over. What a push out to left side.
Well read, though. Oh. And you know what, Kennedy? I'm not sure that ball hit the floor yet.
That was maybe a little bit quick.
Yeah.
We're having a little bit of dispute from Aberdeen, but not a ton. That was a very fast point, but I think you're right. The whistle might have been just that half second early.
Yeah. Aberdeen making lots of digs this set, but just not managing to put the ball away.
And there's another one where it's just not down the way it needs to be. And just like that, City of Glasgow have tied things at 13. So the timeout call, Aberdeen unfortunately have squandered their lead and we're tied at 13. City of Glasgow looking like they're getting some momentum back.
Yeah, and I think the worrying thing for Ken Fraser here is that the team looks slightly less motivated than they did half a dozen points ago. But you could see him trying to put a wee bit of spirit back in them, a bit of motivation there. Looks like the timeout's going pretty well from an Aberdeen perspective. A bit of energy required, I think, from Aberdeen.
Yeah, very much. And we saw when they had that really tight offense that they had going on, it started from the serve. They had pressure on the serve. They were causing problems for City of Glasgow. They've taken a little bit of pressure off that serve, and Glasgow are feeling more comfortable. It's starting to pick away at the confidence of Aberdeen.
Oh, 2 errors in a row from the service line for Eddie Grecki.
We're going to give that a coach's point to Ken Fraser. Great call for the timeout.
Absolutely, get that in the stats.
That's a rough one from Cooper. So you can see he was clearly going for the short serve, but a little bit too short.
Yeah, perhaps not the strongest decision ever either, considering that he had a run of serves last time from the service line, and they were all going deep. So if you get a run of serves, I'm not sure he should be in a position to try and change that. Robert McAleese-Aino in for the serve for Surigase. Not sure anybody knew what side that went, Kennedy.
Took me a second. I think I'm so used to stuff blocking, I wasn't sure which side it landed on.
Yeah.
Furtado with the serve for Aberdeen.
A strong serve too. Yeah, this is the one that Aberdeen have to put away.
Yeah,
this
here's an opportunity for Aberdeen to get a brace. Oh, goodness.
Oh.
Great coverage to bring it back. Aberdeen might have got lucky on that one. They had a few opportunities to put it away.
Yeah, and it just feels like, Kennedy, we keep coming back to the same things. Aberdeen are going to have to put the ball away. Good service pressure on Eddie Garecki.
There you go, another opportunity for Aberdeen.
Oh, shot set there. Well used by Grant Christie.
Oh no, the back row attack, and you can see on the Terraflex where those dashed lines come out wide of court. That 3-meter line on court extends outside of court. It doesn't matter where you are, you have to take off behind that line, and bad luck for Furtado.
Yeah, that right side attack for Aberdeen's just not functioned that consistently today. And to take a wee bit of relief to the outside hitters, they're going to start having to produce that. You see Grant Christie having to check his approach there with a high set.
So unforced error from Aberdeen is going to tie things at 16s. And that's not really what you want to see when they're starting to build this momentum, and they do need this set. This is do or die now for Aberdeen.
Absolutely. Matic coming in for Furtado. He had a really, really solid semi-final performance. We'll see what he can do. I think that the Gremlins have got into the Surrogacy serve system this set, Kennedy, because it really has fallen apart at the service line, but they're still within a point.
That's a deep floating serve. Out to left side and through the block. Now it puts it down.
A lot of hang time there for Daniel Luckenbauer, and it just managed to stay up there long enough for the block to drop and score.
And like you said, Ali, those service gremlins.
Yeah, I think over the last few years, there definitely seems to be that this side that we are at, the Aberdeen side at the moment, has been a stronger serving side in the last few cup finals.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh,
just
well
from
read
seeing
by
it the
Grant.
last 2 years. That's a good leave, and again, using that block of Glasgow against them, but that was a really tight one, not a lot in it.
No, but every time Andy Soros rotated front row, I think, Kennedy, he's done well scoring against Matthew Allen like that. Matthew just moving a wee bit sideways in that scene, and Andy scoring really well. Aberdeen looking a wee bit more positive this time round.
Yeah, very much, and they are up by 2 points right now, 19-17 over City of Glasgow, but this game very much not over. I would not be surprised if Glasgow got their way right back into this set.
You can see Jazz Orr trying to put a wee bit of energy back in his team during this time out. Craig Goldthorpe at the service line. He's had a very solid game.
That's a great pass. Oh, no, I cursed it. I'm so sorry. I'll apologize to Jordan Smith after this. I said it too soon, but just too much butter on those hands.
Yeah, I'm resigning my membership from the Jordan Smith fan club. Aberdeen not doing much more than serve in at the moment.
Yeah, it's really Glasgow being their own worst enemy. And there's a little bit of that excellence that we saw in set 1 and 2. They're going to have to keep that up. They're still 2 points back and just 5 points to go for Aberdeen.
Yeah, Aberdeen have been up a couple of points before, but they've not even been in it at this stage of the set in the last couple. So definitely an opportunity here.
Yeah, this is
Matthew
going to start
Allen's
to
had a
be.
good service game though, so be interesting. And I think it's in the back of 3 service errors from City of Glasgow. What's going to happen? Oh! I think, Kennedy, that clipboard that Jazz Orr's holding at the moment is probably lucky it's in one piece, to be honest.
I'm keeping a bit of side eye out for him to see when it's going to mentally break him, but that is quite a few service errors from City of Glasgow.
Absolutely. And that's Raphael at the service line. I'd say that's about 6 solid jump serves he's put in this set. And when you take away the 4 service errors in a row on the opposition side, that's what swings a game in somebody's favour.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, City of Glasgow just 4 points back, and they've given up far more serves than that.
Stuart McKenzie sneaking in beside Andre there to try and squeeze that centre. But again, 4 service errors in a row. Aberdeen must be thinking they're about to get gifted another point here.
There we go, serve in. We love to see it. Great coverage as well.
Oh. Just that predictability sneaking into the Glasgow offense as well. And suddenly the Aberdeen block defense looks so much stronger.
Yeah, and that was some excellent timing as well, especially after a bit of dispute from the set. It was a nice push out to left side. Oh.
But if Aberdeen can see this through, not only does the game keep going, but City of Glasgow are going to have something to think about in that next set. They're going to be happy that this one's over.
Yeah, definitely. This set has been a struggle for them more than the first two. And I mean, that just looks clinical from Volleyball Aberdeen. And that's going to be a possible set for Volleyball Aberdeen.
I think so. I think more importantly, Kennedy, that finally looks like the Aberdeen right-sided attack is actually firing. That's going to make life so much more difficult for the Glasgow defense.
Definitely. And here we go. Cooper's 24 serving 20. That's a big swing through left side. So Glasgow live to see another point.
But Hewison thinks made a service error last time. Aberdeen must be confident they're going to see this through.
Yeah, very much. They've got 3 set points to work with.
I think the concern for Aberdeen is that Daniel Kambau is about to rotate front row if the game goes that far. There it is.
And that is sensational for Aberdeen. That's a lot of mental toughness to stay in this match.
Yeah, and a little bit of a swing in momentum from the point of view that Aberdeen did start to put the ball away a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Ali Jack, I hate to do this to you. I've got a date in Italy that I'm going to have to go see, so I will leave this game in your very capable hands as we are 2-1 for City of Glasgow, and I'll be joining you later on. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining myself, and I will leave you with Ali for the remainder of the game.
Been a pleasure, Kennedy.
Thank you so much. You as well.
So a lot to think about here for Jazz Orr. Ben's warming up, see if he's going to roll any changes at the start of the 4th set. Ken Fraser sitting down, having a chat with Grant Christie. I wonder if he's making any small changes. Looking at that service reception to get a wee bit of consistency. Just seems to be a wee bit more of a buzz about the Volleyball Aberdeen group at the moment. Perhaps Surrogatsy looking a little bit flatter. Be interesting to see what happens in this 4th set. It looked like Jazz Orr made a couple of subs in the last one. I'm not quite sure if he can get a wee bit of consistency. He'll be continuing to make those substitutions. I think he'll be sticking with what he perceives as his strongest 7 players. Certainly looks like Jordan Smith's going to continue in the serve position. I'd imagine that at the start of the fourth set, Ken Fraser will be sticking with the players that saw that set out. Interesting that when the right side started to function, Matthews Cross was on court, and it certainly looks like he's staying there this time round. Andy Sonic rolling back the years at the end of that third set as well. Yeah, as expected, I think. Both sides sticking with those 7 players that they perceive to be their strongest. Coach Kenny Milne having in a wee chat with Daniel Ockenbauer and Aaron Hewitson there. I would reckon that Kenny Milne might well be Scotland's most capped ever setter, but I could be wrong. Certainly high up there in number of caps. Lovely to see him back in the game supporting Jazz Orr throughout this season. So, start of the fourth set, let's see how they're looking. Jordan Smith lining up in position 1 for City of Glasgow Rosgatsian, going in the service line, with City of Aberdeen lined up on reception. Yeah, looking to put their setter in first to serve. So for those that have just joined us asking, this is the start of the fourth set with City of Glasgow winning in the lead so far, 2-1. 2-0 up, with Aberdeen clawing back that third set. And a fairly high error set from both sides of the net. What we've certainly seen so far this year and in previous years is that the side of the net that Aberdeen are on this time round is certainly the side of the net that produces more service errors. So it'll be interesting when we get back in there to see if Aberdeen can control the service, put a fair amount of pressure onto City of Glasgow and try and see if they can take this to a fifth set. After a really strong 2 sets on offense, Jordan Smith looked a wee bit out of sorts, under a bit more pressure there as the City of Glasgow setter, and the offense just didn't quite function the same. Slight concern there for Aberdeen, as it looked like Ken Fraser perhaps dropped in number 3 instead of 13 into start 7 with Furtado in place, when he really meant years of experience for Andy Stronach. So at 0-0, Ken Fraser's had to roll for 1 sub already. I hope that doesn't come back to haunt Aberdeen later on in the set. Good pass from Grant Christie. Left-hander through the middle. So hard to block. Free ball coming back over. Now, there was no doubt there was a net touch there from somebody. Well, from this position, just so difficult to see who it was. Dave Cormier, very experienced first official, not managing to see there. Perhaps not his role throughout the game. Aileen Hall as second ref. Didn't manage to see that one either. But City of Glasgow captain Eddie Gorecki certainly feels it looked like it was the block defence that touched the net in that play. So, 1-0 to Aberdeen. Another jump serve by Raphael, doing well on that front. Good touch by Andy Stronach. Perhaps just drifted a little bit wide on that one. Andre managed to score well. He's certainly having an excellent game, as Andre. The top scorer in the first couple of sets or thereabouts, that's for sure. But back to the service line now. Good pass again by Grant Christie. Left-hander through the middle, causing problems. And well dealt with. Oh. A surprise there. Just a little bit of experience. It looked like in the middle there from Kupris. Just reaching over the net before the ball had crossed. That's a tough one for middle blockers. Got to show real discipline there. And then on the other end of the scale there, Daniel Ockenboy making a great decision. Up early, waiting the ball, crossing the plane of the net before he made a touch. Just enough to put the ball away. City of Glasgow into an early 3-1 lead in this fourth set. Good defence there from Aberdeen. But free ball and another bite of the cherry for City of Glasgow. Bit of a change of tactic there. Matthew Allen scoring on the B instead of running an A as always. So Jordan Smith clearly at the bottom of that one. Found him really nicely for another score. Yeah, got to say, feel sorry for Andy Stronach in that one. Eddie Garecki straight opposite, turning the lights out. Coach Ken Fraser having to go for an early timeout, although perhaps at 5-1, maybe could have been a little earlier. 5-1's going to be tough to claw back. Certainly the City of Glasgow timeout looking a little bit calmer here. Jazor perhaps not having to read the riot act or motivate now they've got control of the set. A little bit of a bounce in their step once again. Aberdeen just looking a little bit deflated there. Again, it goes back to that point where they've perhaps had a couple of chances to score and not quite managed that. Aberdeen looking and trying to regain a bit of control in the first pass. Good start. Yeah, definitely out. Certainly didn't look like a touch from here. That was a tough block to go around. Realistically, the open score possible there was going to be a wipe-off. Not sure if that's what we had in mind or not. Service Gremlins keeping back in for Andre. Bit of pressure on Andy Stronach's serve here. 4 points down this early in the set. Aberdeen can't afford to let this go. Only need a couple of points in their service here. Strong serve, popping Eddie Garecki inside. Forces the tip. Good bit of defence from Stuart McKenzie. Smart play from Grant Christie, but not enough to score. Good cover by the libero. Second chance. And an excellent ball off the block by Grant Christie. Daniel Ockenbauer there, really athletic in the block. A big jump, high up there and showing some serious hang time, but a really, really good choice and execution by Grant Christie. Different serve this time. But perhaps not a great call by Andy Stronach. The City of Glasgow scored through the middle. Nice strong pass in as well. Matthew Allen's last serve in the last set was certainly a service error. 7-3 to City of Glasgow in the fourth, with City of Glasgow 2-1 up. Good serve. Grant Christie's been passing well this set. That one just a wee bit too much for him when he went overhand. Maybe need to move those feet and make sure he gets back to digging them all, but perhaps that's the tactic for Matthew Allen. Good solid serve, but much better pass by Grant Christie this time. And another good score. Yep, Matthew Allen falling over with all the grace of a ballerina there, I promise. But yeah, going back to that one, there's 2 scores off the block for Grant Christie. That's going to be what Aberdeen need to keep doing. Looks like Ken Fraser's calling a wee bit of change of service target here. Pretty certain this one's going to go to zone 5 to Eddie Garecki to try and slow him down. No, going for Stuart McKenzie. Solid pass by Stuart though. Timing slightly off from Aberdeen, but he's high enough to score. 9-4 to City of Glasgow. Aberdeen going to have to make a wee bit of a comeback pretty soon to turn this set, but it could be beyond them before they know it. Good serve, Daniel Bauer. Oh, another good score by Grant Christie. This is probably the most consistent that Aberdeen have been scoring throughout the last 3.5 sets. And they're really going to need to keep that front row with some strong serving here to keep that run going. I think the concern at the moment is that that's Aberdeen setter rotated in the front row. Slightly less front row options. They're going to have to pull something out the bag to get this game back in. Lovely pass. Jordan Smith just making that game look really easy and giving Adamson and Houston a real chance. And of course, doubt now creeps into the Aberdeen middle blocker. Craig Goldthorpe there about staying with Aaron all the time. We're going to have some one-on-one chances outside for sure. Good pass. Well done, Andy Stronach. Grant Christie just drifting past that. And the line disappeared a little bit as he tried to play it tip down the outside. Not quite enough space there. Eddie Garecki at the service line, 11-5. This keeps drifting away from Aberdeen. Yeah, not seeing too many hits hit the sidewall. Solid serve by Eddie Garecki, but nice pass, Andy Stronach. City of Glasgow out of system. Aberdeen need to take their chances on this one. But Jordan Smith pulls one out of the bag. And now what's beginning to look like a pretty unassailable lead of 13-5 to City of Glasgow. There's no doubt about it. Confidence is high. So Pavel coming in for Grant Christie there after one block and one error in the back of 3 scores, I think it was. Quite a tough call for Ken Fraser. That was certainly well used by Matej on the right hand side there. And again, it goes back to that point. Aberdeen need to function on right and left side here in order to make it a tough job for City of Glasgow. But at 6-13, it's going to be a long road back in at this stage of the set. Recent substitute, Pavel stepping back to the service line. Reasonable serve, well dealt with by Stuart McKenzie. I've got to say, Andre's been absolutely banging the centre of the court when he's been given one-on-ones there. Really, really tough to block. Aaron Hewitson makes way for Robert McAloo coming on centre. It's clearly a serving sub. Takes it in anyway. Right side again, but it's too far off the pace. But Aberdeen get another bite of the cherry. And another bite of the cherry. It's a volley. Too many free balls. Good hang time by Andre there, but not enough to put it away. And another free ball. See that where that one was going, but oh wow. Pass and a hit from Daniel Ockenbauer down the line there. Really tough to defend when Jordan Smith opens up that line for him. It's 15-6 City of Glasgow. Solid serving from Robert McAloo. And after 2 touches there, he's going to go back to the service line for a third time with a 10-point lead. 16-6. Eddie Garecki having a conversation with the crowd here. I think he's that relaxed. (17-6) City of Glasgow. Tough one to commentate on at the moment because the rallies just seem to be the same. Aberdeen just not managing to build an offence at all. And there's no doubt about it. City of Glasgow think this set is done. Jazz Orr looks like he's ready to ring the changes and give some of the bench a little bit of time there. I've got to say, not seen anybody come back from 11 points down at this stage of the set. Harry Orr running about with Jordan Smith's number in his hand, so we're clearly about to see a change. Looks like he's ready to get on. Jack Anderson doing 6 laps there, looking a bit tired, but looks like he might be making an entrance as well. Jazz Orr running the subs. Kane Fraser looking for the answers. Aberdeen players are going to have to come up with something different. That serve-pass battle is definitely gone City of Glasgow's way. You can see the one time he backed off in the serve, Aberdeen picked up, but for most of this match, City of Glasgow have been well in control. Robert McAleese, I know, will be looking to get this one in just into the centre again. I think it looks like he's trying to pick on the libero, but we shall see. There it goes. Out to zone 1. Really high ball. Eddie Garecki. Oh, I think he enjoyed that one as he sucks his cheeks in, looking fairly pleased with himself. Yep. Maybe have to ask one of the scorers there in the line judges to check for a dent in the floor. Hopefully not. I laid that floor. That's a tough call. Ken Fraser, at this point in time, all he could do is ring the subs and hope that somebody comes on and makes a wee bit of an impact. Grant Christie, perhaps unfortunate to get taken off earlier on, but it's 18-6. And Aberdeen need to come up with some answers. You need to make this respectable. So Grant Christie passing from zone 1. That was where Robert put his last serve into. We'll see if this changes this time. No, there we go again. Looking to take the middle out of the game, I think, is a Jazz Orr favourite. Furtado, definitely a gap down the line there, but just couldn't find it. It's a tough job for the substitutes when you come on 12 points down in a cup final, having to try and pull this round. But Aberdeen going to have to do something to make this respectable. And we go to 20 points to 6. I've got to say, I'm looking at the City Glasgow bench. It looks like they're hoping for a Robert McAleese final service error so they can actually get on court here. We've got George Mikael and Harry Orr with numbers in their hand ready to come on, hoping to see this game out. Good pass by the libero. Oh, second ball attack by Raphael, but Eddie Garecki on the big hit. Looks like it's going to come back in a free ball though. I can't imagine City Glasgow going to go let this slip. Jordan Smith just popping that ball out beyond the middle there. Really wide approach from Andre, but clearly something that's been put in place in practice. (21-6). City of Glasgow looking for 4 more points. George Mikael coming on from for Daniel Okenbauer, Harry Orr on for Jordan Smith. And Aberdeen literally struggling to find some answers here. A lovely celebration by Matthew Allen. He clearly liked the fact that Aberdeen won that point. Unfortunately, the ball landed on the wrong side. We've had a few tight calls like that, no? Craig Goldthorpe putting the service in. What's that timing from Andre? That he looked like he was going to put that ball away, but just mistimed it slightly. And out the sideline there. And it does give Aberdeen the opportunity to try and make this a little bit more respectable. At this point in the game, they're going to have to literally forget the scoreboard and focus on each touch as it happens. It's tough at this stage in the set, but what they need is some really strong serves before City Glasgow out of the system. But at the same time, the service pressure is really on to make sure they at least get it in. So we need a bit of experience here. So Santana coming on to serve. Not the strongest server, but definitely get it in. Harry Orr's first set drops inside a wee bit. Gives them a chance. Out of system hit again. Well dug in, straight in by Stuart McKenzie. And then that was a tough call. An error by Andre again. But that was a tough one. That set was right tight to the antennae. But it was tough to see from here whether it was going to be off the spike or a touch off the block. But again, Santana back in the service line. Just what Aberdeen are needing. Good serve this time. Out of system. Oh, that was a tough touch. Oh. Perhaps a wee bit of food for thought for Dave Conley and Harry Orr-set there. But well dealt with the roll shot by Andre. And that brings Harry Orr back to the service line. Now, Harry can be a really strong server on this day. So there's no doubt he'll be looking to go for a jump serve. Putting a little bit of side spin on to either to put it into 5 or 1. There it is. His favourite serve. Right in the corner. Well controlled. That brings us back. So I think 24-9. Looking at the scoreboard changing. Or is that still 23? I think Harry might let this one rip. 23-9 to City Glasgow and 2-1 up. Bit of power behind that one. Sends it a wee bit too straight and out the back. Aberdeen's first target is definitely going to be to get into double figures. The Raphael's put some good jump serves. Probably one of the most consistent strong servers this game. He's got more work to do to get Aberdeen close. Good serve though. Real pressure and well past Antony on the set. But Aberdeen out of system, even though it should have been controlled. In with a roll shot. I've got to say, timing of that perhaps not great in the link between the setter and Eddie Garecki. But Eddie uses all experience to see that through in the victory, winning that point with City of Glasgow 24-10 and 2-1 up. It's match point. The crowd are on the feet. The subs are on the bench. Here we go for Andre. Perhaps slightly ambitious in that. That jump serve turned into a rather flat jump float. However, 24-10, I think can afford to go for that as many times as he likes. The big question here, what's going through Harry Orr's head? Oh, Furtado sends it out the side. And City Glasgow, Scottish Cup winners, 2023, worthy champions on this round. And certainly, after a bit of a hiccup for them in that third set, they've really controlled that fourth set. Aberdeen will be a wee bit disappointed and not managed to build on that. But at the end of the day, the number of errors and ability of the City of Glasgow side to put away on offence was just too strong for Aberdeen. Jazz Orr, I think, will be pleased that he saw a contribution from all the bench. However, from the positive side for Aberdeen, it's been a good few years since they visited the Scottish Cup final at the Pleasance here. It's a big step forward to get a bit of experience for some of these players playing in a venue like this. The conditions slightly different, the Taraflex, the crowd, the noise, just a little bit different for some of them. And there's no doubt the City of Glasgow have been here for a few years, not managed to see through victory for a few of them, and now today they absolutely saw that through in a fairly comfortable position. So as we see through towards the Women's Scottish Cup final, which will no doubt be finishing on time, starting on time, and we'll see that through to first ball serve of 5:30, where we see City of Glasgow on the court once again against City Edinburgh this time round. As we head through the presentation. Eddie Garecki, no doubt looking forward to lifting the Scottish Cup, having been the losing side for a couple of times round. And if you're still watching the live stream, what you can see is somebody hobbling across the middle of the court there. Scottish international, Darren Martin, who would be a key part of this City of Glasgow side of who unfortunately ruptured his ACL, representing the Scottish national team in the Faroes around about a year ago. It's good to see Darren on the mend. Not so good to see him on the crutches, but no doubt we'll see him on the court soon. And he's been helping out and providing some expert coaching to the City of Glasgow women's team throughout the season, who we see again at 5:30. Lovely to see him up and around after his operation, and it'll be even better to see him back on the court again. So we'll leave the live stream there as we head off and let you enjoy the celebrations, and we will see you back on court with the women's game. It's 5:30, City Glasgow against City of Edinburgh. A real ding dong in the making. See you then.